Hi all, this is Yunus. Welcome to my channel. In this video, we will see how to set up an end-to-end CICD pipeline using Jenkinsfile. In the previous class, I had used Jenkinsfile to clone the code from GitHub and then build the load. And that's it. We stopped there. But in this one, we will also include deployment of the package into a Tomcat web server. And this video also shows setting up the webhook from GitHub, which will trigger the Jenkins project whenever there is a new code commit. Okay, let's begin. I have already set up Jenkins, and in the description I'll also give that link here. You can go and check. So Jenkins is set up. Now the next thing is, let us identify where is our code which we are going to build. So in my case, I have this repository called YT Jenkins here. You can clone that. I will give the link in my cheat sheet. So let us go there and see what code is there. So pom.xml, it gives the configuration for your load build, but the actual code is here. src main web app index.jsp. I have used it in previous projects as well. It just says Jenkins sample project, welcome, we are learning DevOps, update number 2 on Feb 17, some date, something which actually tells you that, okay, your web page got updated, that's all. So I'm not making any change at the moment. So let me go back to Jenkins. Now I have to create a new project, a new pipeline project. So let me click on new item. So here I will name it as demo pipeline, and it's a pipeline project. So select pipeline, click OK. Yes. So now this is ready. Now what I'm going to do is I will update my pipeline script. So for that, we have already done this in some of the previous projects, some of the previous videos. So I have that code with me. I can copy paste, but I'll just show you how you can create it. You can select any of these hello world. So you'll get a structure of the pipeline script. But the first stage which we need is we have to clone the code from GitHub. So let me go to pipeline syntax and then here click sample step and come down Git. So repository URL, you can copy paste from here, go to your YT Jenkins or whichever is your repository, click on code, copy this, come back here and paste. Then branch, it is master by default. Credentials, it is a public repository, so that is not required. Everything else you can leave it as default. Generate pipeline script. Okay, just copy this and come back here and just Control V. Here you can say clone code, and here also you can say clone stage. What will happen is it will clone the code from this particular repository master branch. Now after copying it, what you need to do, you need to build it. So let us copy this part, copy, and this is build stage. So this is build stage. You can just echo that message. And then what is the build command? Build command, I'm giving a shell command, mvn clean package. So we have a basic Groovy script ready for Jenkinsfile. I can just execute this and it should build the load. So let me save it and let me build it to see if it is working. Please remember that at this stage, I have set up Jenkins with the basic setup. I haven't installed any plugins which is not required, but you will need to install Maven in the EC2 instance where Jenkins is running. If you don't do that, it will fail. Let us try that. Build now. You can see that it has failed. So let us find out what is the reason for the failure. Go here, click on logs, click on mvn package, and you can see that it says mvn not found because Maven you haven't installed in the EC2. So let me go to EC2. I have logged into EC2 here. I'm going to install Maven by this command, sudo apt install maven -y. Okay, just check mvn-version. So Maven is installed. Now it should work. Just come back and repeat it. Build now. It should pass this time. Yes, you can see that it is successful this time. And if you want to see the console output, you can go here and see the console output. Yeah, anyway, it is successful. Just go back. So what did we just do? We did a two-stage pipeline, but that is not what we want. We actually want the deployment stage as well. So we need to add a deployment stage to the pipeline. Go to configure, go to pipeline, and come to this pipeline script. Let us add one more stage. You can copy paste this till here, copy, paste, and rename it as deploy stage. And what is the command we need to do? Basically, we need to copy the war file which is created by the build stage. It creates a war file. That war file has to be copied onto the web root directory of Tomcat web server. So for that, you have to issue this particular command. I'm just copying it. Okay, so basically you are copying the war file from the target directory to the web root directory. I'll give you the complete Jenkins file as part of my cheat sheet, so you don't need to worry about these contents. So that code is ready, just save it. But then please remember that I haven't installed Tomcat in my server. I'm using the same EC2 for deployment as well. So let me go back to my EC2 again. Okay, and I have to install Tomcat. For that, I'll create a small script, tomcat.sh, and I'm copying the code from my cheat sheet. Yes. So here basically it is installing Tomcat, then it is enabling Tomcat. Then in the configuration file, we have to change the port number from 8080 to 9999. That is because 8080 is already used by Jenkins in the same server. That's the only reason. Then we are restarting that service. So save, quit. Now we have to execute that script. So first you have to give execute permission for that. Now please execute that. Yes, so to see if it is already running, you can check sudo service tomcat 9 status, and you can see that it is active and running. Good. Click Q and then just come out and get the prompt back. Now one more thing we need to do, because we are actually using super user permissions from within Jenkinsfile to copy the war file into the web root directory, we need to make a small configuration change in the file sudo vers. So let me just do that. Sudo vi etc sudo vers, and at the end you have to add this particular line, Jenkins all equal to no password for user bin cp, copy command basically. That's all. So I have added that. We are going to issue the copy command as part of copying the file, copying the war file into the web root directory of Tomcat. Just save, quit. So we are ready. Now let's execute the Jenkins file once again and then see if you are able to view the web page. So what do? Go back to your Jenkins, and so when I build now, it will show you clone code stage, then build stage, and then deploy stage. Let us see. Build now. So number 3 will appear here, and the new stage will appear here. Whether it is success or not, we'll see. So you can see that it has actually deployed it. How do I know whether the deployment has worked or not? You can do that by copying the same IP address, but with instead of 8080, you have to use 9999. I have created it in my cheat sheet. I'm copying it from there. So let me paste it. So it looks like this IP address, then this port number, then welcome page var, that is a var file name. You can see that in pom.xml. And it says welcome, we are learning DevOps update number 2 on February 17th. That is good. But still, we are manually triggering the load build. That is not what we want. It has to be triggered by a code submission. So what do we need to do for that? We need to do a few more configuration changes in your project. So what are they? You need GitHub integration plugin. So you have to go to dashboard, go to manage Jenkins, go to plugins, and go to available plugins. Search for GitHub integration. Yes, select it, install it. That is installed. Now we have to make one single change in your project. Where is your project? Go to dashboards, click on demo pipeline, click on configure, and go to general and come down, and you have build triggers. So build triggers, you have to select GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM polling safe. So Jenkins configuration changes are done. Now we need one configuration in your GitHub repository where you have to add GitHub webhook, where you have to add the webhook. For that, go to your repository, go to settings, click on webhooks here. Okay, click on add webhook, and here you just copy this Jenkins URL and clean this part up, and then instead type GitHub webhook and change content type to JSON. That's it. Add webhook, and refresh it, the tick mark should come. So this is ready. Now when I make a change, I submit a code change, that change should automatically reflect in this web page. I'll change the number and the date. So let me go to GitHub and open your index.jsp, click on edit, and I'm going to change. You can see that here instead of number 2 I'll say number 3, and February 17 I'll make it February 18, and I'll commit the changes. This should automatically trigger the next load build. Right now you know that 3 load builds have happened. 4th one it should trigger, and automatically it should deploy as well. So go here, commit the changes, commit. Yes, it is committed. Now go to Jenkins. Number 4 should appear here now if everything is working fine. Yes. So that means the webhook is working. Now let us see if it is successful or not. So cloning code is done, then build stage is going on, and deploy stage is also successful. Now if I go to the web page, now it is still showing the old one because it is taking from browser cache. If I refresh it, it should show the latest update, number 3, February 18th. So now what we have seen is, using a Jenkins file, we have deployed a end-to-end CICD pipeline, a basic one though, but this is a very good one for learning this concept and also about learning how to write Jenkinsfile, etc. I will repeat the process once again, what all things I did, so that when you try out, you will not make any mistake. I hope you are able to do this exercise yourself. I'll come back with more useful videos. You may please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Bye.